playing advertisement. Video play. Ad can video. Visit advertisers. Video pause and collapse. Visit advertisers website. Button. Video player. Heading. Landscape. Home button to the right.
Professor told me when I was young, I was born with superpowers. I slick my hair, put some spandex on. There ain't no yellow suits like ours. The government thinks that we're a threat. They don't have the right to say. Can't you laser beams out of your head? You might have trouble getting laid.
Testify!
I'm a mutant, not gay. I think I made a mistake, but I'm an X-Man, baby. I was born this way. Got myself in a school life thing. Yeah, I'm the X-Man, baby. We were born this way. It's a Blackbird flyway. Close your mind, it's like G-Grade. Baby, we were born this way. Habits on the same day. It's like a lateral race. The X-Man, baby. We were born this way. You can't be too ugly or strange. Just look at all the X and the N. Hey, hey, hey. But love their powers, love their costumes, and our hops and buggies and icons on you. Being a mutant is great. We all eternally stay. Then make some X-Men, baby. Gotta blow that way. Don't you know who that is? He's the juggernaut, bitch. Dancing mutant, baby. We were born this way. Raise up the claws like Wolverine, or let it out with a banshee scream. Let you see a little hairy chest, scaly horns, or diamond breasts. If your super abilities killed your friends or family, just lay low with us today, baby. You kind of stuck. No matter good, matter both. T-Rex and T-Magneto, we can be best friends except for that douchebag pyro. We made a movie again, Wolverine origin. Was a fruit now, first class is everywhere. It's a Blackbird flyway. Blow your mind, we are the X-Men, baby. We were born this way. We were born this way. Hey, we were born this way. The X-Men, baby. We were born this way. We were born this way. Hey, we were born this way. The X-Men, baby. We were born this way. We were born this way. Hey, we were born this way.
Yeah, bud! Testify! Awesome sauce! We were born this way, bitch! Yeah! I'm a mutant. My mutant powers have the pin of doom! Testify! Awesome sauce!
X-Men born this way. Lady Dog.
Cut the music!
Men.
I said cut the music!
App switcher. Home. For.
Thank you. Thank you for playing nicely. As we all testify. Where's Mr. Hey, there's Mr. Headphones. Hello, this is Blind Adam. This episode is I am back in the Awesome Sauce Studios with another edition of the Awesome Sauce Comics Podcast, the After Dark edition. Because it is late, it is 1:30 in the morning, and I just decided to do a little bit of a bonus on a couple cool things. Plus, I want to tell some people where they can stick it, because I can. Because this is America, and I'm going to practice my First Amendment rights. We're going to testify. trying to find something here. I just want to say, I just want to say that I don't know what, I forget the name of the company that was doing it, but if anyone has any information on when the roast of porn legend Ron Jeremy will be coming out on the internet or on DVD, you know, please let me know. Please email comicpimpvip@gmail, you know, or call 201-675-2104, which is the Awesome Sauce hotline. That's its Awesome Sauce. But according to avn.com, you know, there was a last year there was a roast that Ron Jeremy filmed in Toronto, and it's gonna be hitting the internet. No one knows when or where it's gonna be, when it's gonna be on the internet. But the roast of Ron Jeremy with hashtag roast Ron Jeremy, you know, for all us hashtaggers, you know, will be on the air sometime soon. Cause it had this as a comedian, as someone that loves comedy, it had a pretty decent guest list. It had Lisa Ann, and you know, Screech, Dustin Diamond, Carrot Top, Guilford Gottfried.
Screamed him.
I mean, Jeff Ross, the king of the roastmaster general himself. Now my question, how come this ain't on no motherfucking Comedy Central? What's up with that?
Screen lock.
I want to see a roast of Ron Jeremy on Comedy fucking Central. I mean, the last roast they did was the roast of Justin Bieber, which was awesome sauce. Nothing will ever beat the roast of Charlie Sheen, where you just had William Shatner, Captain Kirk himself, just going to school on Charlie Sheen. But I like to see the roast of Ron Jeremy. I mean, Ron Jeremy's done a lot of mainstream stuff. He's not just a porn guy. I mean, and porn is mainstream. Let's just testify! Testify! Hey, I think porn's awesome sauce! But that's me. There's nothing wrong with pornography. I mean, you know. Yeah, that's right! Because I'm going to segue to a group of twat waffles that need to be talked to. You know? Because I am sick and tired of a million moms and, ooh, I'm the concerned mothers of America. Oh my goodness, my kids saw tits on TV, now I ruined their lives. Oh, boo fucking who. Yeah, you see, I just read on bleedingcool.com, www.bleedingcool.com. Hey, Rich Johnson, how you doing, buddy? You know, it's me, Blind Adam. How you doing, Rich? But I was reading on Bleeding Cool. You know, tonight before I went on avn.com. And then I went on, you know, Bleeding Cool. I was reading that a million moms decide they're gonna protest the new Lucifer show on Fox, because they say that, you know, now if we all know Neil Gaiman and Sam Keefe, when they started the 1989 Sandman series, you know, the one with Morpheus and Dream and Destiny and Death, you know, one of the greatest comics of all time, started the British really kicked off the Vertical line of comics, and it's just one of the riveting and classic series from Vertical DC. One of Neil Gaiman's masterpieces. You know, just read Fables and Nocturnes, and if you don't like it, you know, I'll buy you a lap dance at Scores if I see you. Testify? Yeah, Scores, West 28th Street between 10th and 11th Avenues. Scores, thank you for being the official strip club of the Awesome Sauce Comics podcast. But how many moms, since they say that they're going to police what children can or cannot watch on TV, because God forbid You know, everyone could just be a parent on their own without a million moms. You know. And my 14 to 17-year-old kids want to watch Lucifer, then I'm going to let them watch Lucifer. There's nothing wrong with it. You know? I am sick and tired of these twat waffles. Hey, remember what happened the last time you protested the Sandman comic book back in the 1990s, and that didn't work out for you? I mean, you are a joke. You're everything that's wrong with America. You're going to sit there and you're going to point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. You need TV shows like Lucifer A Million Moms. You really do. You want to know why? Because you need to point your fingers, and when your kids are fuck up, you need something to blame. Yes, that's the point. There's nothing wrong with the TV show Lucifer that's going to come on Fox. You know? So what if it, you know, portrays Lucifer? If it portrays Satan in a positive light? You know, South Park portrayed Lucifer in a positive light too. You know, to show the evils of Saddam Hussein. You only have to check you self-appointed good-for-nothing. Ooh, my husband buys me a Mercedes and I sucked his dick, and I'm raising his children. I gotta like feel important to feel like I'm changing the world and making it safe to little kids. Just sit there, suck your husband's dick, and shut the fuck up. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of things like A Million's mom, as they point their fingers and say, ooh, this is wrong, and ooh, this is right. But just so when your kids are messed up, you have something to blame. That's not right. Take responsibility and be a parent. Don't expect the entertainment industry to be the parent for you, for crying out loud. What the fuck's up with that? Testify? Testify! A Million Moms. Give me a fucking break. Yeah, I'm fired up. I'm sick of this. Ooh, comic books and entertainment raised me, and they taught me how to be a good person. But I also had really, really good parents who didn't like work 5 jobs, you know, and then they have the TV raise me, and they you know. That's all I'm saying is, you know, be a good parent. And if you can't be a good parent, you go take the TV, you unplug it, and that's that. Blame shifting motherfuckers. Alright, I gotta get off the subject, so I'm gonna wreck myself before I check myself. Testify! Awesome sauce! But, you know, Lucifer will air on Fox this fall. Hopefully. The lineup will go Monday nights, Gotham at 8, Lucifer at 9. Which means I only get to watch, but until like June, I only get to watch the last hour of Monday Night Raw. I watched Monday Night Raw tonight. And I have to admit, Kevin Owens, Rookie of the Year. In Elimination Chamber, he beats John Cena, and then he cuts the promo he cut tonight, where he's saying that the only reason, you know, John Cena, where he's saying that John Cena is a bigger hero to him than to his son than he is. Just a great, I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but I want to buy a I Won't Quit t-shirt, Never Give Up t-shirt that John Cena was wearing tonight because of it. I mean, this was promo of the year both from Kevin Owens, who I see a great future of, as well as I think this is really great stuff from John Cena. I mean, Monday Night Raw was great tonight. I really think this is gonna, you know, you know, even what they're doing with Seth Rollins and Norman Reigns versus the Authority is great. I mean, and can we get more girls besides just Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Paige wrestling in the Divas division? I mean, like, why is Nadia Neidhart only in the fucking, managing, you know, Tyson Kidd and, the King of Swing? Why come you can't get Lana to wrestle? I mean, Raw's getting good, yo. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I seem distracted. I'm just trying to find something, which I'm going to play for you in a few seconds. Also, if anyone is a fan of adult superstar James Dean, I know a story I read about on AVN.com. You know, was that James Dean, fucking around in New York will be on DVD sometime in the near future. And if you go to AVN.com right now, you can view the trailer. It's basically he had 2 adult stars, as well as 3 amateurs, including a college grad student from NYU. You know, filmed this movie for James Dean Productions. You know, and come on, let's not, you know, say anything about James Dean, because he suffered enough having to film that Canyons movie with Lindsay Lohan. I mean, man, having to film a movie with Lindsay Lohan. I mean, porn is high class compared to having to do a movie with Lindsay Lohan. Oh boy, Adam, leave Lindsay alone. I discovered this ungrateful little bitch. I gave her a record deal. Oh boy, and she was an asshole. Lindsay Lohan, I kicked her out of Disney World forever. Oh boy, back to animal. All right. You know, also, I called it, yo! I called it. It's not confirmed yet, but the main event for SummerSlam, WWE's main summer pay-per-view in New York City, my city, will be one of the events will be Stephen the Arrow Amell versus Cody Stardust Rhodes. Hasn't been confirmed, but according once again, I was on bleedingcool.com. www.bleedingcool.com. And the story's up. It may be happening. Stardust versus the Arrow. And Stardust will fail New York City that day because he will so go down to Stephen Amell, Mr. Stardust. Mr. the negative to the positive. Almost got it. Alright, now I got the audio clip from a motivational speech I did at the Joseph Cohn Training Center about 2 months ago, which I'm going to play for you in a little bit. I apologize about that. I'm no longer distracted. But yeah, I cannot wait. If that's the main event, I'm going to buy tickets to SummerSlam. Maybe they'll have a meet and greet. And maybe I'll get the interview Mr. Stephen Amell.
Stop recording, cancel, but stop 2043.
Because that would be sweet. In fact, I'm going to talk to his publicist, tomorrow. Tomorrow. We'll talk to Stephen Amell's publicist tomorrow. After I interview Anthony from comixheatingup.net. Oh yeah, we're gonna testify. But I'm gonna see if I can get a ticket for SummerSlam. If that's gonna be the main event. That's gonna be awesome sauce. So happy for Steven if that's true, because he's such a huge wrestling fan. Which leads into one of my comic book picks of the week. As we know, Arrow, the TV show Arrow, starring Stephen Amell, and the sexiest woman of all Hollywood, Willa Holland, and David Ramsey, as well as, Katie Cassidy, and the whole crew. Emily Raksha Becker, she was sexy, but she's not Willa Holland sexy. Airs Wednesday nights. Really resurged popularity in the Green Arrow comics. I mean, the Kevin Smith run is out in one of those absolute editions, which is really sweet. I had to get a copy or two for stock, as well as the review for the show. It's so popular that they introduced Diggle into the comics with the new 52 volume of Green Arrow in issue 17. But one of the coolest things is it's going to have a new creative team with Patrick Zentoff and Benjamin Passive in issue 41, where Oliver's going to go back to Seattle. He's got to solve a case of people disappearing. It's issue 41. New creative team. Looks great. Looks awesome. Comes out this week. It's one of my picks of the week. And I'll do picks of the week with Anthony in the interview tomorrow. Which is technically today. Tomorrow is today because it's after midnight here now. But Green Arrow 41 should be a great book. We should all check it out because it will be awesome sauce. Testify. Also, if you're in Carson City, Nevada, and you're looking for a really good time, you should stop by the Moonlight Bunny Ranch. The Moonlight Bunny Ranch is the official brothel of the Awesome Sauce Comics podcast. If you want to have, a party with Sunny Lane, Sunny Lane is there. If you want to, I'm going to actually see that I'm going to actually I want to interview Dennis Hoff. I want to learn from the master, as I want to become the first blind man to own his own brothel. I'll move to Nevada. I'll move to the middle of nowhere in the desert, get a brothel license, and go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And pippin', yeah. America, the perfect place to pimp. Ta-ta-ta. Alright, as you don't know, about this time last year, I was at the Joseph Cohn Training Center, 130 Livingston Avenue, New Brunswick, New Jersey, 732-937-6363. So anyone who's in the Commission for the Blind or just entering it, you should talk to your vocational counselor. And if you need training, this is the only school of its kind in New Jersey. And it's so changed my life. I would not be a man reborn without the help of Susan and Deacon and Reagan and Sam who taught me Braille, and Patty who taught me how to cook, and Porter who first taught me how to use a cane, which I did, went off to Leader Dog out in Michigan, and had some that. And I'm about to talk to someone in the city to talk about that as I become more New York City bound, which I'm gonna get into next week. You know, because just like John Cena said in this promo tonight, I will not give up. You know. So what I'm gonna do, I go back there every so often to talk to the new students to share my story, and I'm gonna reveal to you some of the secret origin of Blind Adam the Comic Pimp right here, right now, for you all to listen to. Let's all enjoy it together. I love you all, and I thank you all for being such a loving family.
Once in a while, there are people who they say, the program has really done a lot for me. My life is different because of it, and I want to come back and be a doctor. Well, today we have Adam Anthony with us, and he is one of those people. So let's have a hand for Adam. And Adam's going to give you a little bit of his background and all his childhood. Do you want to go around real quick, Adam?
Actually, I was going to ask it, I don't think that's too much since the last time I was here doing this. If we go around the ring of the business ourselves first?
Okay, so you know me, I'm Steve.
Alright. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Chanel. Hey, what's up? And hey, Deacon. Nice to meet you.
David.
Hey. Hello, Ryan. Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, David, he introduced himself.
Samson Allison.
She might be back a little bit.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright. The floor is yours. I guess, I want to just say that, I was in the program about a year ago. And I was born with RP. We discovered it, retinitis pigmentosus, which is just basically a deterioration of the retina. One day I went into a doctor's office at the age of 12, put an eye chart, they think you'll be totally blind by the time you're 18. Which, when you're 12 years old, it's not the type of news you really want to hear. So
you had, like, pretty much 20/20 vision until you went to the doctor at age 12?
It was always kind of, had something wrong with my vision up to then, but it wasn't that pronounced until around the age of 12 or 13. So, I got my first cane in high school, and they taught me how to use it a little bit. And, I basically went to school, used the CCTV, and basically some of that's that. And in my 20s is when the condition started to progress, and I came here for my second time in 1997. I came here once in 92 for about a week, and I was asked to leave, so that's best forgotten. I came here in 97 with the goal to go to college, and, back then, did my 16 weeks, and learned how to cook, and learned how to clean, and went off to Johnson Wales University out in Providence. I was actually the first visually impaired student they ever had. So I was training them as, and when I went there, I said I wanted to be the best visually impaired student they ever had. And
class, and then,
How were they about, like you were there?
the accommodations there were, it was like getting the cute balls. Because they didn't know anything, so I had to tell them, hey, I need to use JAWS. And they're like, well, what's JAWS? So you had to go on the internet, show them what JAWS was. And they're like, well, we have to get this cleared with the department that had it accommodated for you. So I went through a lot of readers in college. You know, thank goodness for people who were very generous with the time to read stuff for me. So I could put it on a tape recorder. You know, I don't have anyone remembers tape recorders in here.
We still don't want tape recorders. We're not that. It's not
No.
that old.
Well, he looks like a younger crowd, so I wanted to make sure. You know, and sometimes I learned how to speak up for myself during that period a little bit. You know, I had one teacher who, you know, wasn't the most accommodating in the world, and I was just like, well, I need this, and this, and, you know, I learned that sometimes, like, you know, not always going to get what you want, but if you don't speak up, if you don't speak up, then you don't ask, then you'll never know. And then, I'm going to say things really got worse around 2012. My grandma passed away. And for the first time I was alone, and then I decided to go to the city for something. And my sight was getting worse. I was walking into things, bumping into stuff. Pretty much in denial for about a year, for a couple years. And then one day I was on the Secaucus train station, and I missed a step and I fell in the gap.
Oh, between the trains?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I've told the story before, Susan. I finished the gap and scraped my knee. But if I fell any other way, I would not be sitting here today. I mean, it was really bad. And any independence I had from 97 to 2012 that I learned from a great instructor that was in the Sioux Abbey, who's long retired. You know, went straight down the toilet. I was a hermit for about 2 months, and then I had this huge epiphany. I'm using big words there, holy cow. But, you know, I saw my hope, and I called up my VR counselor, who's Caroline Zimic. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Wonderful lady. Best VR counselor I've ever had. Or maybe I was just ready to hear the message. And so I wanted to go to JKTC. And then had my intake of October for 2013, where I met Deacon, who was my case manager here for the entire 20 weeks. And, you know, I came here, and I think in the first 2 weeks, Susan and Robert correctly, you guys thought I wasn't going to make it through all that well. You guys are skeptical.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, really cautiously optimistic. If I remember correctly, things came out of my mouth that were appropriate, that weren't used to being heard around the hallways here. I think you can say this. I probably had one.
Unlock. Button. 11:19 a.m. One notification.
Crazy that you guys didn't try to make money off me with a swear jar. Yeah, exactly. But, and then I went
Screen locked
for the first time. Is Patty and Doug still teaching you guys?
Yes.
Patty, that first day of teaching, walking around the kitchen, and get experience, you know, explore. Went around the entire kitchen, walked out the door. Went back around the second time, had a panic attack. try it for one day. You know, and then I burned my first grilled cheese. And then I said, Patty, can I make a second one? The second one came out perfect. And then it clicked. And I started loving every inch of this program. I learned how to walk with mobility to the point where I had experimented when I went to other places now to further my mobility skills. And I just got back from Leader Dog out in Michigan a few weeks ago to go see my dog.
You did.
Well, the way we live it, because my landlord doesn't want me to have a dog in the house, and we're kind of fighting about that right now, I'm kind of just told them I'll contact them when I'm ready to go to the next step. But it has a 1 week, very, very, very intensive orientation and mobility program at the cave, where you work with nothing but 8 in the morning to about 5 at night, learning cave skills. My advice, if you're going to go to Leader Dog, you can go out to Michigan, do not during the winter time, because
One notification. 11:21 a.m.
that's the cue that I can mention people to you guys sometime during this. The experience I had here changed my life
Screen locked.
in so many wonderful ways. I cook now. I'm actually in negotiations to be featured in a cooking show somewhere down the road.
You are?
Yeah. I don't even know if I'm legally supposed to be talking about it yet, but I'm amongst friends and peers.
Your secret's good with this.
I know, but, I've, was in your guys' spot, and, once a week we'd have a bell ringer come in, and I'm going to be honest, I slept through a lot of those, except for one where I was really affected by how long ago was he here?
Well, I don't know. They haven't heard of it.
You haven't heard, you guys haven't heard my friend Steve Roush, or however you pronounce his last name?
He was supposed to come on a day like I think he had closed.
Yeah, and I know he's got some stuff going on right now too. His story to share, but this man is Steve. He's the captain of one of the beatball teams. Beatball is the baseball team for the blind. I think our season's starting. And he sounded like someone his story was so interesting that it inspired me to just do well. And, but I've learned how to read Braille, and the way I learned how to read, I just found out that Sienna's retiring. I'm a little sad about that right now. And I hope she's doing well. But the way Sienna told me to read Braille was, she told me the letters A to C, and she's like, I gotta go on vacation for 2 weeks. Maybe it was a week, because we had a snowstorm the week that kept the building closed for a couple of days the second week. And she's like, well, you can either learn through the letter C and wait till I come back, or you can go on by yourself. So I was aggravated. And my computer was almost broken during the snowstorm, so I learned the entire alphabet on my own. And I came back the next week. It's like, see, I know the alphabet. She just get out of here. Like, seriously, trust me, I know the alphabet. We did the whole book, and she whispered something I know she wasn't allowed to say. She was like, holy poop, I didn't expect you to do that. She goes, I guess you're ready for grade 2. And then, by the time I left here, I was tutoring other students in Braille. And that was something I never thought I'd see. I'm still reading, and then, when I got out of here, I started reading children's books in Braille. My whole damn childhood. I got Cat in the Hat in the Braille, and I was angry with the cat. And I was like, well, that's another thing. I guess the message of my story is just try. You don't know what you're capable of until you try. I mean, I don't know how many times I think I came very close to packing my down the street, the Stress Factory, and they suggested I try Best Buy for a different experience. And the first 2 days, you can get a test of this. I was kind of happy camper. I wanted people's heads on a platter. I'll never forget it. And then I tried it. And it was probably the best 4 weeks of my life. I was probably the only employee I was told that went to the corner and cried because I had to leave work. I know I'm working on finding a job through APO with a support employment. And today I just submitted a business proposal for the business enterprise program to start my own business.
Really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I just had Dave, and it's the Dave who's handing it to Dale for me. So,
And you explain, like, I mean, you said, 2012, and that was, I guess, one of your lowest points.
yeah, I mean,
Come so far, you learned rails, you learned the technology.
still learning technology. No,
Well, that's never even.
why wasn't there just good for a YouTube video of me just like having a conversation with the computer and seeing how many hits I get with it?
But, I mean, at this point, and I remember you did the independent apartment, that was like awesome thing, right?
I hear it's true again.
What?
Is it true that the independent apartment had another floor?
No.
No?
What's that thing over there?
Okay. I had rumors that there was another pipe burst building during the winter.
No, we were using the apartment.
Okay. After the big flood in 2013, I was the first person in there after a while.
Right.
And, you know how they say that they entertain guests?
Yeah.
Guys, they suggest you be in the apartment, keep entertaining guests and feeding them to them, you know? Because it seems like the most popular person here in those 2 weeks.
Oh, well, that's because you were cooking some good food. I still remember, right?
That's
Made
true.
chicken parm.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah, actually, but what I challenged myself there was, is Diana still working here?
she is.
You guys know, I actually cooked for Diana Cortez, one night, and I made this full 4-course Italian dinner with chicken parm.
So you went from a burnt grilled cheese at the beginning
Yeah.
to a 4-course dinner. I mean, that was phenomenal.
And I still cook today. In fact, I'm actually getting some, because I'm in the process of moving into my brother's house. So I'm actually having Julio Perez, he comes to your house and having him give me some brush up. Just because I have some cooking skills.
Okay.
Just to my suggestion to you guys is, when you guys get out of here, because I actually find that the 20 weeks that I was here was the easy part. It's once you get out of here, when you don't have a set schedule. When you can slack off when you want to. As I find the difficult part. I find myself, if you have nothing else to read in Braille, keep the textbooks and just read a page in the textbook a day if you have to. Yeah, I have a couple members of my family who think that's all I use to with shoes. Because to me, it's going back to the wall. It was the first thing I learned how to cook. It's probably still one of my favorite things to cook. And sometimes I'll just cook that just for the skill, so it doesn't go dull.
And how has your family adjusted to the changes? Go through a lot of things.
It depends on which member of the family I'm with. I mean, my brother and my future sister at home I'm living with. Some things is a constant, like I actually have to wait till they're out of the house to do my cooking. Just because, I think if they saw me cook, they would just take over. That's my other suggestion. You're not going to have everyone if you can, get a support system around you that isn't going to try to smother you, take over, or be too overprotective. I mean, sometimes if it means you're independent, you have to be a little sneaky about things. then by all means do it. If you know that you have no one in your house at a certain point and you have enough time to cook a sandwich or cook something small that, you know, can't be cooked, that you can clean up and everything, and it doesn't look like you did anything, then by all means do it. I mean, but, you know, I know a few people that I won't even want, who I love very dearly, who went through the 20 weeks and are back at square one. And to me, that's just like, then what was the point of coming here in the first place? I mean, if you have a goal, go out and achieve it. If you have a dream, go out and live it. The only thing that we do that's wrong with us is we can't see everything properly. Everything else we can do. Sometimes you may have to have other people be human seeing eye dogs. Trust me, I go through a lot of them. You know, sometimes you just have to ask, believe, and go out with your cane, your dog, and wing in a prayer, and hope for the best. I never thought I'd be doing half the stuff I'd be doing, especially when I came in here. I came in here and I didn't expect myself to last 2 weeks. And now, I guess that was someone's cell phone.
Yeah. I don't want to be different here.
Yeah, no, we didn't have it very often. That's why I was just like, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so now you left JKTC. Now you talked a little bit about what you're doing. So kind of go into detail. I know you go to the trade shows and all that.
Actually,
you have a pretty full life right now.
Right now, I kind of wish I was back here because it'd be slower paced.
Would you slower pace it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, actually, I just, you know, I work with a job coach from APL every Thursday at the local library, trying to find me a day job while I'm getting the business off the ground. Something in retail, something small, something that's stocking shelves like I had at Best Buy. You know, I do a podcast on YouTube twice a week.
Oh, really?
I just started a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna just say this: if anyone gets offended easily, just don't listen to it because there is a lot of coarse language.
Or a general topic.
Just a lot of comic book stuff is covered on it. I've been going over the overall theme of you know, living out dreams, living out fantasies. I do talk a lot about the mindless skills. You know, I actually did a whole segment on political correctness because some of that at the Pennsylvania hotel in New York said that they want to call me blind because they could get sued. And did anyone else get the memo on that? Because I sure didn't. You know, so I had a 5-minute argument about, you know, letting people know that it's okay to call me blind. I'm not going to sue anyone.
Okay.
And just whatever strikes my fancy for that day. You know, as soon as I just, it's not form, just whatever pops out of my head, come out of my mouth. And I've now found a way to set my YouTube account up for monetization where I can make money off it.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So does it work where if people listen to your...
I think if people listen to the podcast and there's enough clicks, I think I get a check sent for me. Because I have ads running in front of everything I put up now.
So is it if they listen to your podcast or if they... I thought that if they go to those links for the ads.
I think it's if they go to the links. I'm not sure. I just figured that it was, I did it, and if I get a check, I get a check. If I don't, I don't.
So you got to check it?
Hey, cool. If not, I'm doing something that I love to do.
Okay, that's good.
You know, I do, like I was telling Samson, I am a comic book dealer by trade, which means I go to comic book conventions locally and around around the country. And I set up a 6-foot, 8-foot, or 10 by 10 booth. And I buy and sell comic books and rare collectibles. And I bring in celebrities for autograph signings. I'm actually going to be doing something semi-big with this in Atlantic City in the month of May. At the convention center there. And I think I'm going to be teaming up with buddies of mine who actually own Batmobiles. And then I just finished up a 2-month tour of the Foundation for the Blind, which is in Denver, which my special friend, she went there, so she twisted my arm together for a little bit. But, you know, thanks to my job coach when we meet on Thursday, I wasn't able to go anymore, unfortunately.
And what did you do there?
Well, they have more of a recreational program, I guess. It's more of a, if you're really sight impaired, you know, it's more of a, like there's horticulture classes you can take. There's a whole class every week. You know, there's an art studio where you can paint. I actually picked out a really cool picture. They have healthy living, where you can cook healthy choices. You know, which really brought me full circle to my ADL back here in '97, because that's where Gerald is on teaching.
Oh, that's what she is.
Yeah. You know, if you have anything else to do, I recommend it highly. You know, they also teach iPad and iPod, how to do an app, and they have a drawing class, and it's really cool. Just, you know, some things had to get through the cutting block because I needed time, and unfortunately that's where I had to go. You know, but I'm very, very grateful for the time I had here. And my advice to you guys is cherish the 20 weeks while you have it. You know, make the most out of this. I mean, I was fortunate enough to have been here a couple of times. You know.
So your business proposal.
My business.
What's your business?
My business is I'm actually doing a retail comic book store / cosplay studio in New York.
Oh. You know what I thought it was? I thought it was related to the comic book series that you were writing.
Actually, that kind of merged into the podcast.
Oh.
You know, it's a lot more. I thought it was a lot more fun, and I've been recovering from tendonitis the last 2.5 months, so it's been really painful to type for 4 or 5 hours straight. So I found it. So I just one day floating around, I was like, what if I just record this and say what's on my mind, and just act it out, and then I just merged it into that.
So you're planning on having a retail store?
It's a retail store and a production studio all in one little shot.
Producing what?
This podcast.
Oh, okay. Do you have now the business proposal, like, you have to have a location?
I actually have a location into the, into the proposal. Unfortunately, I think it's a space that I'm not going to be going with initially.
Oh, really?
Just because I saw it outside of it, it was no size, it was no bigger than 2 of the closets we use here for clothing put together.
Oh, so you can
It was really, I was actually very disappointed, and I looked at my brother, and we were sitting in the truck in the parking lot of the facility. I said, what do you think? Because I think you're crazy. And I said, that was my, I said, and I'm cleaning it up here. I was like, no bloody way. See, the kids were this time around together.
not do any groups.
That's because I want to come back. You know, so this is an honor to get back, which was so wonderful given to me.
So now are you looking for a new location?
Yeah, and I'm going to talk. And I still have the fantasy parents move out there with her? Is that what they're talking about doing? Because Mercedes just got moved out of Jersey, and they're going to Orlando.
That's too late.
You know, my dad's in IT over at Mercedes, so, but my whole thing with this is just take things one day at a time, guys. Enjoy the experience. You know, it goes so fast. If you can make friends here, by all means do so. And I still stay in touch with a good portion of the people I went here with. And some of them are doing well, and some of them aren't. I mean, you know, build a second family here. This is I'm choking up. Because this place has really changed my life for the better. You know, to the point where, you know, I consider, I have staff members I'm still friends with. Even though they just retired and didn't tell me about it. But that's another, actually, to be honest, I hope for help as well. I mean, because I tried texting her not too long, but tell her I was going to be here today and got no response back, which is kind of out of character. You know, unfortunately, Pat wasn't here today doing the front desk, but whenever I call for something and I hear Pat, she's a nice 5-minute conversation in the beginning. You know, I still occasionally email Diana back and forth every now and then. You know,
Well, I think what you're saying is important in that keep those connections. You know, you are going to all meet. I mean, you are already meeting, and as you continue to meet people, but you know, some people will come in and out of your life, and other people, you know, you're gonna really connect with. And I think what you're saying is important. Try to maintain those connections because not only, you know, there's going to be times that you're going to be there to be a support for someone else. There's going to be other times that they're going to be there to be a support for you. And in this changing world, we'll all need supports.
yeah, I mean, my whole thing is, my whole message is just try. I mean, you know, just, I think the kitchen is the perfect thing. I went in, went out. Did 4 or 5 times. Went to the point where, you know, after the point where, I'll never forget this, I was cooking French toast, one day before I got the end of the appointment. I was having such a good time. I was doing part of my stand-up act, and the B word came out, and went through that title. I know you're enjoying yourself, but language. I was having such a good time cooking French toast that, you know, I forgot where I was. I thought I was in my house and not the running kitchen. You know, to the point.
Okay, well, let me open it up for questions.
Yeah, no, you know, I've babbled on with my story long enough.
There's a lot of experiences, and you're doing a lot of things now. So any questions from anybody? Comments? This is not normally my quiet group, so.
Yeah, wait.
David, any questions? Greg, any questions? Put you all on the spot. Comments? They're all.
Right now I'm going through Facebook. Been having a lot of my friends be like, I mentioned you, I tell a lot of my friends, hey, I mentioned you in an episode, listen to it. You know, email it to you. You know, right now it's kind of low key. Just, you know.
You have a YouTube channel?
You know what? My whole thing is just, you know, which I find myself amazed. Like, if you have, like, I have a friend who owns a wine company. I mention his company in every episode, and then I tell him about it. And then he'll, you know, listen to it, or have someone else listen to it.
Well, that's good.
You know,
that helps.
just like I said, if you have someone you're close with, ever since high school. We had such a witty rapport with one another that one day I, forgot I left my digital recorder on, and there's a really, really funny bit that I incorporated into an episode of the podcast. And before I play that part of our banter, I gave this pizzeria free advertising on the podcast. Address, phone number.
Hopefully you didn't tell them all to go down and get free pizza.
No, I actually told them, I said, I was just like, tell this clown that I say hello, and tell him where's my damn real menus.
Can you come cook for us one day?
What's that?
Can you come cook for us one day?
Wait, I'm not a professional chef. Trust me, you don't want me. You know what?
Well, how are you getting to be on this video?
I guess.
I think you said you cooked for.
I cooked today and
I'm sure they can find some space for you to cook for us.
I don't know, Susan.
Well, let's see. What are you going to make?
Can I just say the only thing I learned in my 20 weeks here? If you want something done quick, but staff, offer them food. But I think this is rare that we have decent answers in the period. Deacon is being uncharacteristically quiet.
He's taking it all in.
Yeah, listen,
He had.
first time listening to you about your story. Sue's been up here before.
So, is there anything you got to add, Deacon? You were there through the whole 20 weeks.
You said it. I'm pretty much your first few weeks here. I know you have a lot of things that you need to work on. You're a little bit hesitant about your program because of some of the issues you may have been having. But look, there was a big turnaround. Like you said, even with the work experience, I remember those.
I did not want to talk to you because I did not want to talk to you.
Yeah, and directly I heard that you weren't happy about it.
Yeah.
I talked to you about it, and it turned out from not wanting to be there to not.
And then that one day you showed up there, Deacon was standing behind you watching me start shows, and you were like, okay, I can leave, he's doing good.
You're doing an excellent job.
To the point where I'm actually thinking of putting my resume into Heather. And actually including the letter of reference that she wrote me. Along with it.
And I like what you're saying that when you left your work experience, as we've been talking about it, you got a letter of reference from your job.
Yeah. In fact, I have it framed and it's hanging on my wall, actually.
Yeah,
The big thing that we like to see too is that engagement skills in hearing, you're taking it on to the next step.
And trust me, there's not a day that I don't find an excuse to do something within that skill set. I mean, right now I'm waiting for especially when I'm in between books from the Talking Girl Library, which I don't know if I can write very much up there, because it's either I win or I lose. It's either they have what I want, and the way I want it, or I give them a list and they have nothing. But that's when I go back to the textbooks. I'll read a page from one of those textbooks, or a couple pages every day.
Sometimes, another way to get railroads, just so you know, is your local library. They can sometimes search around and see if the books are available.
Yeah, I gotta do that on Thursday when I'm in there, because I usually always keep my book. This is kind of making me nervous that most of you guys are quiet. I think the last group I had,
Really not quite. Well, some of you are interested in things related to your own business. So Adam is more than just thinking about it.
I've actually been doing it since I've left.
Yeah, doing it, now writing a proposal to have the commission help fund him with an advancement in his own business.
Yeah.
Do any of you have questions about how you go about doing
Does anyone have questions about the BEP in general? Because, I did not take. That's why people have to stop changing the acronyms every 6 months.
Keep you on your toes. But I mean, really, like Ronnie, some of you have been thinking about your own business and wanting to do things. So, really, Adam's a good resource because he's doing it.
As far as qualifications, it's just, I think, a desire to want to do well. And a desire to realize that the job market is tough. And, hey, if you get a stand, look at it this way. It's a rent-free space to have basically your own building. Or to have a bunch of machines. It's basically, you have state backing for the commission, as long as you prove that you can do it. And, granted, some high heels on the side, things are changing a little bit, but it's basically having a nice support. I mean, I have a friend, you guys all know, is Ruthie still here? She's been here forever, but her husband does very well with it. I have two friends who just graduated the program and are on a list now.
So now your business proposal is through the year.
It's true. Now, you can either get your own stand, or if you can write your own business proposal. And, if you have an idea of your own independently that you want to do, you write up a proposal, you fill out an application. And, depending on how much money you feel you're going to need to start the business, I think if you feel you need up to $5,000, and you feel you can do it on that, you could just taking 10% of your own money, which you could borrow from a friend, or do a credit card, or, set up a GoFundMe account or something like that. Go on YouTube and beg, which I had attempted to try just for a joke to see if it actually works.
You tried it, you sound like you speak from experience.
What about Facebook?
Facebook or whatever's out there, and you just, if you really believe in the business you're about to do, and you really believe that you can make money with it, and you can prove that you can make money with it, then by all means, if you can have the commission support, even if it's just to help you get technology like JAWS, or Zoom text, or the talking cash register, or a talking credit card swiper, or something like that to help you, I do comic book conventions, and I spend 50% of my time answering site questions.
Question for you. The talking book, do they offer books in education?
Yeah.
Say, I'm trying to do this course, medical living and coding, and I don't know whether I can try to talk to them to get books.
If it's a textbook, you wouldn't necessarily go through them. We go through other resources, such as Learning Allies
That's right.
or Bookshare.
Bookshare, that's going to probably be Bookshare.
Okay.
You could probably search, do you have a card account?
No, I've just started this course.
Alright,
So,
like I said, because you can probably just search for any book title.
Our works with the library.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just, I contact
Bookshare,
it.
they have some textbooks for Learning Allies and Bookshare are really resources for getting textbooks.
Yeah, Bookshare would probably be your better bet for that.
okay.
And once again, that's one of those things where you call up the talking library and it'd be like a 50-50. Maybe they'll have it, maybe they won't.
Okay, I'll just go with that.
Yeah,
How do you have your book now?
I'm getting the book from the library, but it's in really bad print. The other one I'm getting on the internet, which is actually a book that they read out to you through the internet.
Okay.
But the book that I got from the library is in such bad print that it's smaller than newspaper print.
Well, if you can get it through Bookshare, the nice thing about Bookshare is if you're using Zoom text with speech, you can have it in print the way you like it. You can enlarge it to what you need as well as you can have it read it to you. So you have a better option as well.
I'll look into that.
May I have a recent page of business proposal? This is going on an application. If you're going, you're that route.
well, the application was really simple because,
You have to join courses.
no, excuse me. What type of business are you thinking of running?
Probably something along just like another family business like that.
Another what?
Not that as a pizzeria.
I was thinking of doing a pizzeria.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, so you're gonna do a pizza, so you have experience in it, so that's a plus. So, and that, my two advice, my two pieces of advice if you're gonna start a business, do something that you love to do. If you can find something you love to do, you can make money with it, whether it be a pizzeria, whether it be selling collectibles and getting to interview celebrities, which is what I'm starting to do with the podcast. I'm waiting to hear back from Stan Lee's publicist to see if I get the green light to interview him at Atlantic City Comic Con. Find something you love to do. Find a way to make money with it. And it's going to be like you never worked a day in your life. And when I was 18, and before I slowly got booted out of my butt with my first time around here back in 1994, I wasn't ready yet. Without that experience, I went and came back to in 97 and went through it. And we're not having any experience of that now. If someone told me, hey, one day you're gonna be, set up selling collectibles, and you're gonna be selling tickets that other fans buy autographs from Adam West and Burt Wood, Batman, and Robin on TV. And we're told, the 41-year-old Adam, bleep off, you're crazy, it's never gonna happen, I'm visually impaired. How am I gonna make this happen? And just by hard work, finding good people around you, and just never giving up. Just, if you have a dream, don't let it die. If I get people along the way to help you.
And there are good people along the way, And sometimes you don't find them right away, and you have to just keep looking. Because if you believe in something, and you believe you can do it, search hard enough, you will find people who share that dream. And vision impairment should not get in the way. Think it through yourself.
It's just
have
never
a plan of how you're going to do it.
And sometimes that plan is not always going to come to you right away. I had some days I wake up in the morning and, for example, I do not live in an access link accessible area. My access link is actually set up through my cousin's house. My cousin is going through some rough times with his dad right now because his dad's in the hospital. So I walked to the train, took the train here, and basically got here. But there's a little bit away. With that, I want to see how the food has changed at all in the last year or so.
So I wanted to. What's that?
That's probably new shipment.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted two things. First of all, I want to thank you who would like to see
Testify!
1:15:23.
And that is the secret origin of Blind Adam. I thank you all for listening. I love you all very much. Thank you all for being an awesome sauce family. And now I'm going to say, keep one foot in the gutter, one fist in the goal, too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Blind Adam going to sleepy sleep, 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 sleep.
Stop cancel button. 1:15 cancel button. Stop recording button.